Well, it seems that we have another cold day in St. Louis here again, and it's just not something that I can escape. I keep thinking that we're going to be into spring, and then spring decides to be winter again, and I'm kind of tired of that. I am. I'm really tired of it. But I have been working on something very summery, which is my sunflower. So I do have the whole back done. And I have my 3-layered center. So remember, there's 3 layers. 3-layered center. It's all finished. And then I have been working the second layer. So hopefully this will all come together and make a really pretty sunflower. And I did go ahead and put up kits if you're interested in making the Mediterranean knotted lace Bibila sunflower in support of Ukraine. And we are going to be giving the profits to one of 2 charities. One is World Central Kitchen. They're amazing. Like pretty much 100% of their donations go to helping people, which is, if you know, sometimes charities are not as good about giving away the money that they receive as they should be. World Central Kitchen is not one of those. It's rated excellent. It is one of the better charities that you can give to, especially for worldwide crises like this, because they're trying to feed people. It's all about trying to feed people. So that's one of them. The other one is, I think it's Global Giving. That's another one. They're like 97% of the donations that they receive, again, go towards actually helping people. And that's something that is really important to me, is that if I am going to give my money to someone, I want my money to actually go to the people that need it. I do not want my money being spent on expensive ad campaigns or giant headquarters that they don't need. Like, I want my money to be used for the people that need it. So I went ahead and I did research, and those are the 2 charities that we've selected. Now, I did make a listing, and I will make sure that I drop the links in the description for this video. But I made a listing so you can either get the kit if you want the kit, and we do have kits available for the embroidery, the embroidered brooches, the pins that Tina's been making. She did 3 different designs because she's much faster at embroidery than I am at Babila. So I also have a 3-year-old, so I think that contributes. Because Ina kept trying to help me, and bless my child, she's very interested in all of this, but she's not very helpful. She tries. She's not very helpful. Anyway, so yes, those are up. They are pre-orders right now. We don't have the kits put together. We are working on it. We are doing our best, but we need to write the patterns so that we can do the kits. So that is on my list of things to do. That's why I'm trying to get this finished today. So I thought that I would go ahead and work a little bit of knotted lace with you, show you how the petals are made. I am using my Perlavka, which is a little softer spun. It's not quite as tight as what my Lizbeth is spun, or the Olympus Special Gold number 40, which I adore. But it does make for really like nice Babila. So, you know, I'm going to use it. It might not be my preferred thread, but it has a great color range. So yeah, it makes it really nice because I can quite easily put together my pretty sunflower. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and like turn the camera down, show you what I'm working on, and then I'll talk to you guys. So okay, so for those of you, oh, that's just junk thread, ignore that. For those of you who have been following along, you'll know that Tina and I wanted to do something to help the Ukrainian people. And, you know, we're just kind of shocked by this whole thing. And one of the things we decided to do was to design some sunflower patterns. And this one, again, it's 3 pieces. I hope you can see that. I just pulled them apart so you can see how there's 3 layers for the center. This is actually a tube start. Those are really fun to start. I'll show you how to do that one day too. Soon I'll show you how to do the tube start. Maybe I'll do like a whole video tutorial for this when I remake it to make sure that I get the pattern correct. So I I'm working right now on the petals. These are my my daisy petals. It's the same petal that I have used in the first layer. It's just, I've been trying out some different techniques as I go and seeing if I can make the petals a little tidier. This one is not tidier. This one wasn't bad. This one was not a bad petal. This one was not as tidy as it needed to be. But one of the important things for these is I have 6 of these inverted triangles. So you start with 2 stitches and work your way out so that you end up with 4. And then I have joined my 2 little petal bases across because I think of these as my petal bases. And then you get 2 petals per base so that you'll end up with 12 petals here, and you had 18 on this one, so they should stack together quite nicely. Anyway, so in order to do these, we do a carry up loop or a closed loop into the top of the second stitch that we made on the last row, and then we go ahead and do a straight return, and then we need to work our stitches. And let me see. I can see that I worked both stitches out of the second loop last time, so we're going to work 1 out of the first loop. Just like this. Oh, and it will look like a mess, but that's all right. This is just because I have a giant tail on here, so we just have to keep, there we go, fussing with it. Okay. So we'll work our first stitch, our first loop into our first loop of our previous row, and we always make sure that we catch the straight return. And then I will work one loop or 1 stitch into the second one as well. And remember with Babila that I am wrapping my thread twice around my needle, and the reason that I'm doing that, boy, I've got that stuck. Hang on. I might have to dangle my thread here for a minute. There we go. The reason that we do that is to make the knots just a little bit bigger and to pull everything just a little tighter when we are making it, because we are trying to make a fairly closed ground as opposed to a very open lace. And I always like to make sure on these that I set that knot just inside the last knot before the closed return, which would have been our closed loop into the top of the previous row. So there, and pull it nice and tight. So here we go. And how many rows do I have? This is the hard part to count, but it's basically, this is our base. So we have 1, 2, 3, and this will make 4. Now another thing that I like to do, because I'm actually going to be using these loops along the side to work back down into the base of the petal to keep coming across and making more petals. So I keep getting caught, there we go, on my tail. One thing that I like to do is I like to make sure that when I am putting in my closed loop, that I make it just slightly bigger than I think I'm going to need so that I can find it later. Now I'm going to take my thread and just untwist this a bit. I think that's part of why it keeps getting caught. All right. Now we work that straight return. So again, I'm going to bring it over into that first stitch. And then I have to bring my tail thread back across, double wrap. Well, I think I just have a little too much thread on this. I was letting Ina help me, if that explains things. I was letting Ina help me. She likes to do that, so I indulge her a lot. When it comes to the needlework, I want her to like it and be interested in it. There we go. This is what our double knot looks like before we tighten it down. Just like that. Now the other thing is, I think, part of the problem, there we go. So I had a little bit of a knot trying to form. Uh-oh, I may have a knot. Let's see. Look right there, I think I've got a little knot that decided to form. So that's part of why my thread is not moving smoothly. Now the question is, I do have a fairly sharp needle, but this is a pretty tight knot, and this is a fairly soft thread. So the question is, can I get that knot out without ruining my thread? I don't think so. All right, I'm gonna leave that knot in, and when I get to it, I will decide what to do with it. All right, so where are we? So I know that I went into that first loop last time. So this time I need to do 2 basic loops into my second stitch because that's going to help to offset my pattern and make sure that, there we go, I get a slightly straighter petal. I say slightly straighter because even though I've been making these and practicing them, they could still be straighter. Okay, make a little space in there, make my second loop into the same previous loop. At least it's moving better, even with that knot in it. I don't even know how I got that knot in there. Although, again, I know what's helping me. All right. Do this again. Okay, so yeah, Tina is putting some of our yarn on sale. It's going in the clearance section because we're honing in more on what we want to continue to carry. And going forward, we are going to offer less yarn, but we are going to be offering more house dyed or indie dyed yarn by Tina. So she is going to be doing a lot of dyeing for our yarn shop. And then we will keep the tweed, of course, definitely keeping the tweed. And we're going to focus more on some lace items because, yeah, we both love lace. And that just kind of seems to be where our shop is headed. Now, that doesn't mean that we'll stop carrying spinning supplies, and it doesn't mean that we won't have like sashiko and embroidery kits. It just means that as we change the direction of the shop a little bit, that we are going to cut back on some of the yarn lines that we have had in the past. So we won't have as much of the universal, for example, or what's another one that we get. We haven't had Rowan for a long time, but we used to carry Rowan. We had the Rowan worsted. So, and you know, that again, it may change in the future, but right now that's kind of where we're headed, is more indie dye. We'll keep some lace and some fingering weight, and we'll of course have the tweed because we love the tweed, so that's not going anywhere. That knot is getting in my way. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like cut my thread when I get down to the bottom of this petal and reattach. It's all right, at least I know. And I want to make sure that I'm inside this knot because this is the knot that begins my straight return. That's why I'm very carefully placing all of this as I get to it. What else can I tell you? I will be at Shuttlebirds coming up. I'm going to make a video of a lot of what we will have on offer. I am getting in some more stuff, and my box has not come yet from Japan. I found a brand new book again. Very excited about that. And this is looking good. So I've got, what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This makes 6, and this will be 7. So, oh, and I made a mistake. Hang on. Let me figure this out. Forgot to do very important loop. Hang on. Let's see if I can undo this. Oh no! Now what did I do? I looped it through here twice, maybe. And now my knot's getting in the way. Oh my goodness, I can't even see what I've done. Oh well, so I've made a mistake. Whatever, I'm just gonna go ahead and set another knot in here. It's a tiny mistake. I forgot to add my closed loop on the outside of this before I did my straight return. Gosh, that's annoying. Well, and I keep getting little bits of like other threads in here that I've worked. So I have these random little bits of like black thread. Anyway, so when we get to this point where we've done our 7, you can see that we are about the same size, because what I need to do now is go ahead and put in sort of the top loops. So I'm going to bring this guy in. Just like this. And let's see. Oh yeah. I'm gonna call it good. Now I have to do another closed loop into the very top of my petal. So just like that. And now I will start working my way down the side. And that's where I forgot to do that one extra loop right there. But we will start using the closed loops down the side to bring us down to the base, where we will do our last stitch into the very base of this last loop that we used here. And then we'll use 2 more loops to make our next petal, and then we'll bridge into our next base. So lots of fun stuff. And you're just basically doing the basic loop all the way down the side. And I just kind of set small loops along that side. So just like this, little small loops all the way along that side. And I just kind of look for those closed loops that we've made. Just this one, see, it's a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. It's basically every other loop as you're going down is the closed loop that you use to carry up. And again, by utilizing these closed loops along the sides, then it allows us to carry our thread down to the bottom and gives us a little more substance on, let's see, so I used that one, so I need this one. A little more substance to our petals. So that's the idea there. Plus it puts you back down at the base without doing weird hanky-panky stuff with your thread. So that's kind of nice. Like this. I'm just basically trying not to use the fake loop made by the straight return. And I'm trying to only use the closed loops that carried up the side of the petal. So anyway, I do like how this is coming out. I like the colors that I picked. I think I picked some good yellows. And I like the 3-color center that I have used. So, oh, of course, that darn knot has become a problem again. Come on. It's right there. That's my problem though, is I keep getting hung up on that knot. I'm just gonna have to cut my thread and fix that. It was driving me nuts. That was not a very pretty double knot either. Well, that's all right. We're basically down back to the bottom again. So just go ahead. Oh, this is not a super tidy petal. That knot was just really getting in the way. And I missed one. I should have gone in here and done this one and then brought it down. But again, this is a practice piece so that I can see basically what not to do. I'm getting an excellent lesson on what not to do. And I think I can get rid of those extra tails. So I did go ahead and keep my tail in the center because I'm going to use that to kind of tie together my pieces when I get to them. But I'm past this enough that these tails are going to come off. There. Much tidier. That'll be a little easier to find now. All right, and then with these guys, again, I'm just going to come over one, and may regret this because I've got that knot in here somewhere. Oh, one moment. Come over in here. And hopefully Abby will stop that whining here in just a second. And so I need 2 stitches. Go. I need 2 stitches. There we go. So now I have 2 stitches to use, and I'm going to build another petal out. And then when I get done with that, I'm going to, again, bridge over into this loop here, and then use 2 stitches and keep going. So anyway, that's the idea on the petal making. All right, so there we go. Now you know how I'm making my petals, and apparently it's really hard to make these when I'm trying to talk and watch the video at the same time. But I did make one more of the little daisy petals. And I can see that I would really like to tighten this juncture up as well. So these are all things that I'll write into the pattern. I definitely need to make another one. And I also know, there it is, that this little knot, I'm either going to get it out or I'm going to cut it out because it really is creating lots of trouble. And like I said, I let Ina help me. So it's very likely that, you know, she just helped me a little too much. Anyway, that happens. But I really think that my little sunflowers come together very nicely. My next project then is going to be a tatted sunflower. Once I get both of those done, then maybe I'll try something else. I know Tina has 3. She totally beat me on the number of patterns. She has 3 embroidered sunflower patterns done. And again, I'm going to put the links in on the description for where you can go on the website and you can pre-order these. They are pre-orders as of the filming of this video because we just haven't had time to get the patterns written, but that is on my list of things to do because I really need to get these sunflowers done so that we can sell them and send off whatever profits we can, again, to that World Central Kitchen because they are already in Ukraine right now. They are feeding people. They are on the front lines. They are helping to support the Ukrainian people in their fight for freedom, which we believe in. So if you don't believe in that, this is probably not the right channel for you, and we suggest you move along. I just think it's a travesty, honestly. I'm going to get real personal for a minute. I think it is absolutely a travesty. I am incensed at one arrogant man's act in believing that he is better than everybody else, that he deserves to be running a country, and that no one else should be running his country, and that he is just going to go take whatever he wants. So, Putin, is a smear. It's a smear. It's the nicest way that I can say it. Fill in the blank before it. He is a smear. And it makes me mad. First I was sad and upset. And then it made me mad. And when I get mad, I find ways to retaliate in a good way. One of those is making the sunflower Mediterranean knotted lace pattern so that we can release this again and help get aid to Ukraine. There are way too many people who are suffering as a result of this. Yet again, just frustrates me. I do not understand the human psyche and this insatiable need for like war and one-upping people and just taking. Why do people feel like they need to take things? Why do you need to take? What are we going to have to do as a society to learn that we need to build each other up, that the only way that we are ever going to have peace, the only way that we are ever going to achieve any kind of lasting societal stability is by building each other up instead of trying to tear each other apart and tear each other down. And a lot of that just needs to come from being a better person. You need to do better, be kind, be compassionate. And it is hard. It is so hard. It's not something that happens overnight, and it's not something that I expect everyone to do tomorrow, but tiny little acts, small things, they all go towards making you a better person. I mean, and like my personal journey, here I am, I'm drinking my water because, and yes, I do have a cute bunny cup. I'm drinking my water because water is really important in your daily diet. And I used to be a really heavy diet soda drinker. I drank Diet Coke like there was no other drink available to me, and it was the only thing that I would consider. I loved Diet Coke, and that's what I drank. Was it good for me? Absolutely not. And did I suffer because of it? Yes, I did. Am I better off even though I'm heavier weighted because I'm drinking my water? Yeah, I am, because it's a small step. It's little steps towards getting yourself healthy and doing things for others, like making sure that you encourage other people to drink their water in a nice way. You can't like just insist that they drink water. You have to be like, oh, here, why don't you have some water before you have, your Coke or your coffee or whatever. Because drinking your water is really important. And I like coffee. I'm not going to lie. I have basically a latte twice a day, most days. Some days it's only one, but pretty much like I have a latte twice a day because that's what I enjoy. But I'm also making sure that I'm drinking like my 8 cups of water all throughout the day. And I do it with my fun bunny cups because it makes me happy and it helps me remember to drink my water. So small things that help me in my everyday life. And one of those small things that I'm going to be doing is donating because of this sunflower. So I don't know. I'm sorry I went off on like a rant right there, but you're getting very raw, very real Kelly and what she's thinking right now. And honestly, if this were live, I'd be saying the same things. I'm trying not to censor myself when I talk to you all this way and to just treat it like it is alive and that you all are watching me while I'm filming this. Anyway, I have other things that I need to work on, like the rest of that sunflower today. And I hope that you go take a look at Black Sheep Fiber Emporium, go to our website, make sure that you have subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure that you have liked us and followed us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We put up different things, all of those places. Make sure that you've subscribed to the newsletter as well so you know what's going on. I only send out like one a month. I don't send out tons of them because we do a lot of content other places. So I only do one newsletter a month. Anyway, we have all kinds of stuff planned. I will be at Shuttlebirds. I'm going to be at Hoosier Hills Fiber Festival. I think Tina is planning on Oregon Flock and Fiber. And then I will be at Ozark Fiber Fling. did I say IOLI convention? I think I missed that. That's one's in July. So we have a lot of events that are coming up throughout the year that we look forward to. We do a lace day with the Portland Lace Society as well. And then I'm hoping that I can get over to the Lafayette Lace Makers or down to the Branson Show Me Lace Makers. Because yeah, I have fun stuff that I want to show them. So anyway, that's my plan. And I just heard the driveway go ding, ding, ding. So I probably have a delivery. I need to go see what came. It's probably not the box from Japan, but one can always hope. So anyway, please take care of yourself, like I like to say, mentally, emotionally, physically, and craftually. Make sure that you are doing some kind of crafting every day. Like I said, even when I'm stressed, like yesterday, it was a very stressful day for me. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but it was a very stressful day for me. And just being able to work on my crafts made such a huge difference in how I felt. So please make sure that you are doing your crafting. Oh, ding, ding, ding. That means somebody left. Anyway, I will see you all next time, so take care.